Hello, fellow collectors. This is Frank TTM here, back with another TTM Success video. TTM stands for Through the Mail Success Autographs. Got 4 in the box. Got out today. It's a big snowstorm out here in New England. I got out, shoveled out my driveway, headed to the post office and checked my box, and nothing like 4 TTM waiting for you after shoving yourself out. So here, let's get right at it here. Hope everybody's having a good day. First in the box here, we got a 2 for 2 and 142 days. No fee. I've been waiting for this one. Probably the longest I ever waited for a TTM so far. This is out of Trenton, New Jersey. We have Mr. John Valentin on this 1993 Topps Stadium Club and this 1993 Flair. Looking sweet and with blue ink. A little smudge there, but that's okay. His number. So this is John William Valentin, who was born February 18th, 1967, in Manola, New York. It's coming up on his 54th birthday. So happy birthday, Mr. Valentin. Mr. Valentin was a right-handed hit and throw and shortstop third baseman that played 11 seasons in the majors, mainly with the home team, the Boston Red Sox, from 1992 to 2001, and he's played his final season with the New York Mets in 2002, and he for many years after his career, he held some minor league coaching positions with the Dodgers. So Mr. Valentin was drafted by the Red Sox in the 5th round of the 1988 MLB amateur draft from Seton Hall University in South Orange, New Jersey. At Seton Hall, who he played with included some future major leaguers, Hall of Famer Craig Biggio, and his teammate with the Red Sox, Mo Vaughn. He also played collegiate ball, summer ball, with the Cape Cod Baseball League for the Hyannis Mets. Shout out to George the Collector out there. I know he's a big fan of the Cape League. Seen some games down there. So Valentin was a solid bat and infield presence for the Sox throughout the 1990s. He was initially the Red Sox starting shortstop for several seasons before he moved to second for one season, and he played third for the remainder of his career pretty much, making room for an up-and-coming guy in 1997 by the name of Nomar Garciaparra. So Nomar moved to short, and Valentin initially to second and to third. Valentin's best season, I would say, was 1995. He won the Silver Slugger Award as the best offensive player at the shortstop position in the American League. At the plate, he hit .298 with 27 homers, 102 RBIs, while swiping 20 bases, scoring 108 runs, and knocking 37 doubles. He was voted 9th in the AL MVP voting for that year. And he also helped the Red Sox win the American East that year. He also led the league in doubles with 47 in 1997. So an interesting thing about Mr. Valentin is he's the only major league player to have an unassisted triple play, hit for the cycle, and hit 3 home runs in a game in Major League history. On the evening of Friday, July 8th, 1994, Valentin turned the 10th triple play in MLB history in a game against the Mariners at Fenway.
All right, the runners are going.
Runners are going.
Line drive to the shortstop.
Okay.
That's 1. Valentin goes over to the bag for 2 and tags.
He tags. Okay, that's it. There it is.
Keith Mitchell.
Yeah.
So how about that? That, my friends,
unassisted
triple play.
Then on the evening of Friday, June 2nd, 1995, Valentin hit 3 home runs versus Seattle Mariners at Fenway.
And that ball is belted, and that's way out of here. And Valentin has his 3rd home run, and that is out on Lansdowne Avenue. So John Valentin, 4 for 4, joins a host of Boston Red Sox who have hit 3 home runs in a game, and that was the hardest smack That was way out of here.
And then, on the even of Thursday, June 6, 1996, Valentin hit for the cycle.
And a couple of runs scored. And he scalds this one.
Cycle time.
Into the corner. He gets to second base. That is the cycle. And he's got it. Wow.
So he was a career 279 hitter, hit 124 bombs. He hit quite a few doubles. He hit 281 doubles, 558 RBIs. He's quite a good player for the Red Sox. I do appreciate it. I was hoping to get this back from him. Thank you. Next in the box here, we have a 2 for 2 in 16 days. No fee out of Seattle, Washington. We have Mr. Chuck Codier on this 1978 TCMA card, and on this 1985 Topps his manager card. This is Charles Keith Codier, born January 18th, 1936 in Delta, Colorado. Just turned 85, so happy birthday, Mr. Codier. As a player, he was a right-handed throw-in second baseman that played 9 seasons of the majors. The Milwaukee Braves, 59-60, Detroit Tigers in 61. Big chunk of time with the Washington Senators from 61 to 65, and after a few years in minors, rounded out his career with the California Angels in 68-69. After his playing career, he went on to be a manager in the minors, starting in 1971, and managed the Seattle Mariners from the end of the 1984 season, when manager Del Crandall was fired with 27 games left, during all the 1985 season and the first 28 games of the 1986 season. He also spent time as a bench coach, a major league scout for the New York Yankees, and more recently a special assistant to the general manager for the Washington Nationals. As a player, he was a good fielder, light-hitting infielder. Although he could field any infield position, he primarily played second. His best season was perhaps 1962 with the Senators as the regular second baseman. He had 242 with 6 homers, 6 triples, 14 stolen bases, and 40 RBI in 136 games, all career highs. His playing career ended in May 1969 when he sustained an Achilles tendon injury as a member of the California Angels. He was a career 220 hitter with 19 home runs and 127 RBIs. An interesting story that I read about Mr. Codier, as the Mariners manager, Codier described he had once a Martin moment, as he called it, in quotes, referring to the hot-headed manager Billy Martin. So this occurred at Yankee Stadium on Sunday, June 2nd, 1985. In the third inning, Codier erupted over a call and got ejected from a game in Yankee Stadium. As Codier was walking back to the dugout, he came upon Dave Winfield standing on first base. It was Winfield's check swing that caused such a ruckus. Winfield was a big guy, standing 6 feet and weighing 220 pounds, most of it muscle. Codier remembered, I smacked him in the stomach to get him off the bag, which, looking back on it, Codier admitted it was not a smart thing to do. Winfield apparently took it good humanly since Codier is still alive. Then the Mariners manager really went into action, grabbing the first base bag and tossing it into the right field. Reaching a dugout, he threw bats and balls onto the field. Codier had barely gotten back to the manager's office when the phone rang. "Hey Chuck, it's Billy," the Yankee skipper said, Billy Martin, obviously about to plant his tongue firmly in his cheek. "Man, you gotta learn to control yourself." "Me control myself?" the flabbergasted Codier said. "Listen," Martin continued, "we're coming out to Seattle and I want to have lunch with you to talk about this." So, thought that was funny. Getting some advice from Codier about being a little cooler. So as a manager, he was 98 and 119, and as you see in the stats there, popped up here, he had 5 career ejections. And I looked up this Martin stats. He obviously managed a lot longer, but he was ejected 48 times during his his Major League career. So thank you very much, Mr. Codier. I do appreciate it. Next in the box here, we have a 4-for-1 in 26 days, no fee, out of Phoenix, Arizona. We have hockey return here. We have Mr. Bobby Smoltz. Looking nice here in this Bruins card, and this is a 74-75 tops. And Stanley Cup Finals card, 78-79 tops. Bruins skate past the Flyers. And on this, I guess this is 74-75 tops team leaders card when he played with the Canucks. And this is a 73-74 tops with the Canucks. So I didn't send him any of these cards. I actually sent him, I think it was a 79-80 top, but he hooked me up with a bunch of cards here. I'm pretty happy with it either way. This is Robert James Smoltz. I think I'm saying the last name right here. I'm sorry if I'm not. He was born March 28, 1945 in Canada, Saskatchewan, Canada. I can't say the town's name. Tongue is tied right now. He was a right-handed shooting right wing that played 14 seasons in the NHL, mostly with the Boston Bruins from 74 to 1980, but also played for the Vancouver Canucks, the Colorado Rockies, and the Edmonton Oilers. Interesting highlight in the Stanley Cup Finals there was he scored the overtime goal for the Boston Bruins in Game 4 of the 1978 Stanley Cup Finals versus Montreal to level the series at 2 games apiece. And a photograph of Smoltz celebrating his goal was used as the cover for the Bruins 1978-79 media guide. Overall, Smoltz was very good in the playoffs. Actually, he scored 26 playoff goals for Boston, the same as Bobby Orr. In his years with the Bruins, Smoltz proved to be a valuable and consistent offensive threat. At times, it's a fan favorite. He's known for his fearsome slap shot, but perhaps just as fearsome wrist shot. With both, he scored an unusual percentage of goals in the top corners, and when he missed, he tended to miss high, creating a thunderous strike on the boards behind the goaltender's head. Playing under Bruins coach Don Cherry, Smoltz developed late in his career into an accomplished forechecker and backchecker. For the Bruins, he usually played right wing on a line with Hall of Famer Johnny Boychuk and versatile center Greg Shepard. And all, Smoltz played in 764 career NHL games. He scored 271 career goals, had 286 assists. And like I said before, he was very good in the playoffs. In the playoffs, he played 84 games with 28 goals and 33 assists, most of that with the Bruins, as they were in the playoffs quite a bit during the 70s. So I want to thank you very much, Mr. Smoltz. Appreciate giving all of me these cards here and signing all these cards. Appreciate quite a bit. Thank you. Next to the box, we have a 2-for-1 in 10 days, no fee, out of Phoenix, Arizona. We have Mr. Bob Oldis. This 1954 Topps reprint in blue ink. Very nice. Got a few questions there, and he also signed index card. Frank, yours in sports, Bob Oldis. 60 World Champs, Pittsburgh Pirates. So he's part of that 60 World Champ team with the Pirates. So you can see those there. Here we have Robert Carl Oldis, born January 5th, 1928, in Preston, Iowa. Just turned 93 last month, so happy birthday, Mr. Oldis. He was a right-handed hit and throwing catcher that appeared in 135 Major League games as a second or third string catcher over the parts of 7 seasons with the Washington Senators, Pittsburgh Pirates, and Philadelphia Phillies. Oldis made his Major League debut with the Senators versus the White Sox at Comiskey Park in Chicago on Tuesday, April 28, 1953, as a late-inning substitute catcher after the Senators pinch hit from Mickey Grasso. His first start came in in the second game of a doubleheader on May 10th against the Philadelphia Athletics, in which he went 1 for 4 with a single and caught all 9 innings in a 6-2 complete game victory by Chuck Stobbs. Oldest spent most of his time throughout the 50s in between the majors and minors, seeing some middle time in the major leagues. Senators from 53 to 55. He played in the Senators minor league system in 56. And he also played in the Yankees minor league system through 1959. His biggest highlights with his career came with the Pittsburgh Pirates and Philadelphia Phillies in the early 60s. And I think I'm going to get to that after I'm going to get to it through his questions that he answered for me here, which I always do appreciate. I asked Mr. Oldest, who's your favorite teammate? So that would be Dick Groat. Dick Groat played with the Pirates. Who was the fastest runner you threw out stealing? So Maury Wills, he says, and he threw him twice in a game. So in 1962, Maury Wills stole 140 bases but caught only stealing 13 times during the season. So during a Wednesday afternoon game on June 4th, 1962, Oldest threw out Mills out twice with the Phillies versus the Dodgers at Dodger Stadium, Los Angeles. Oldest threw Willis out trying to steal second base in the second inning for the final out of the inning and third base in the seventh inning. And this next question here, what's the most memorable game he played in? 1960 World Series games number 4 and 5. We won both games in series, and he did sign there as well. I guess I could consider that a success as well. Bob Oldest. So he was a member of the 1960 World Champion Pirates squad that beat the Yankees, serving as the club's third catcher behind Smokey Burgess and Hal Smith. Although he only got into only 22 games during the 1960 season, 3 as a starting catcher, Oldest appeared in, as I said, in games 4 and 5 as a defensive replacement, spelling Burgess, that had no plate appearances. The Pirates, of course, won both contests, and however, went on to win the 7-game upset. And Bill Mazeroski's walk-off home run, of course. For his career, Mr. Oldest hit .237 with a 1 home run and 22 RBIs and 56 hits. As a catcher, he threw out 30% of his runners, with 22 caught stealing and 65 attempts. Following his career, he was a coach with the Phillies in the 60s, 64 to 66, and the Minnesota Twins in 68, the Montreal Expos in 69, and he scouted for the Phillies and Expos as well through the years. And he's also has been associated with the Marlins as a scout since 2002. So thank you very much, Mr. Oldest. I do appreciate it. And I do appreciate you all joining me tonight on this Tuesday night, snowy, wet, cold day here in New England. I don't know what it's like up your way, but this was like up our way here. That's winter in New England. So I want to wish you all a good week, good day. Take care. God bless. Peace.